Hi, and welcome to Movement Mondays. I'm Alex Weaver. For today's workout, all you're going to need is a water bottle or glass of water, a yoga mat or towel that you can lay on, and potentially a chair for a few of the exercises. But other than that, you don't need anything for today's workout. So I'm going to just go ahead and make sure everything looks good on the stream, and we'll get started here in a second. All right. So like I said, all we need for today's workout is going to be some water, yoga mat or towel, something that's comfortable for you to do exercises on, and then potentially a chair or something that you can sit on for some of the movements later in the workout. So we're going to get started here in just a second. Just adjust this. Oops. Perfect. All right, so we're going to get started with some walkouts today. So standing nice and tall, you're going to walk your hands out into a plank position and then all the way back. Stand up straight, reach for the sky, and we're going to repeat 5 times. And I think this is our 5th one. So when you walk out to a plank this time, we're going to bring one leg forward. So stay in that plank position. We're going to bring one leg forward and then open up toward that leg. We're going to take a deep breath and switch which leg is forward. So same thing, other side. And switch again. All right. So we're going to go ahead and come into a tabletop position. So you're going to be on your hands and knees. We're going to inhale up into our spine and then exhale down, letting our chest drop towards the floor. We do this 5 times. Perfect. So you can stay in that position. Just going to make sure I don't kick anything. So staying in that position, we're going to do some bird dogs. So extending opposite arm, opposite leg, keeping that core engaged. Perfect. Okay, so you can go ahead and sit back for a second into child's pose. And just allow yourself to relax. Take a couple deep breaths. And we'll go ahead and stand up. So we're going to stand in a little bit of a wider squat stance than you normally would. So feet at least hip width apart, probably a little bit wider. You're going to squat all the way down, grab your toes, press those knees out with your elbows. Try to keep your chest up. And then come up into a hamstring stretch. And back down into that deep squat position. And up into that hamstring stretch. So we'll go ahead and walk over to either a wall, something you can put your hand on, chair maybe, and you're going to pull one leg back into a quad stretch. If you have difficulty grabbing your foot, you can also use like a yoga strap or a band or a towel to wrap around your foot to pull your leg back. And switch sides. All right. So we're going to do a set of arm circles. So going forward. Make sure you're breathing for these. And backwards. All right, so roll those shoulders out a few times. We're gonna go back and do a calf stretch because I realized we forgot that. So you can put your foot against a wall, against a chair, something that won't move, and you're gonna keep your knee straight to start. If you don't feel the stretch, you can try bending your knee and see if you feel it then. Just lean in slightly, and then hold and breathe. And switch sides. And we're actually going to lay back down on the ground. So we're going to lay on our backs this time. And we'll start by, so extend, you can extend both of your arms out at your side. And then you're going to take your leg and reach across as far as you can. Keeping your shoulders on the floor. And then coming back, reaching for the other side. And back, and then So you're gonna bring one knee to your chest at a time. And we're just gonna hold and take some deep breaths. And switch. And we're going to come up to a seated position. Last but not least, we're going to stretch our neck. So you can put one arm behind your back. Gently pull your head away from the arm that is behind your back. And switch sides. All right, so we're gonna start, so let's grab some water, stretch anything else you feel like you need to stretch before we get started. We are gonna start with circuit 1 today. So circuit 1 is going to be YTAs, single leg or both leg glute bridges, a Spider-Man plank, and jumping jacks. So YTAs, we've done these before. You are laying on your stomach, arms outstretched. You can actually put your head on the floor for these. Rest your forehead on the floor, I mean. So you're gonna come up into a Y, shift over, T, and then A. So Y, T, A. So you're squeezing your shoulder blades and your back to lift your arms off the ground. So you should feel it in your shoulders. So we'll start with those. Single or both leg glute bridges. So if you are doing a both leg glute bridge, you're just gonna go for 60 seconds. If you're doing single leg, I'll tell you at 30 seconds you can switch. So either way, you wanna make sure as you're starting your glute bridge, you are engaging your core. So engage your core. You can keep your hands at your side. You're pressing with your glutes and hamstrings to come up and then back down. So it's a nice, slow, controlled movement. If you are doing single leg, so you are going to extend one leg, same thing, keep that core engaged, press through that glute and hamstring and back down. So keeping the core engaged and back down. So like I said, if you're doing single leg, we'll switch halfway through. If you're doing both, you'll just go for 60 seconds straight, and then we'll switch to the next thing. So after that, we're gonna do a Spider-Man plank. So Spider-Man plank, you are in a regular plank position on your hands. You can either stick with a plank. So let me back up. So if you struggle with a regular plank, do just a static hold where you're staying in a plank, and you can modify that to fit your needs. So, for example, if you've never done a plank before, or you're newer to doing planks, you can start with doing a kneeling plank, where you are here instead of in the full extension. So you can do that either on your elbows if your wrists bother you, or on your hands. And then full extension plank would be just like this, or on your elbows. You want to make sure you're keeping your core engaged so that your low back isn't arching and letting your hips drop towards the ground. So if you can do a regular plank on your hands for 30 seconds, then you can try doing the Spider-Man plank. So Spider-Man plank, you're going to be in this high position, bringing knees to elbows, just like this. You can also, I think you can do it in the elbow plank position. It just is a little more awkward, but it is possible. So any of those variations works. And then last but not least for this round, we have jumping jacks, which are very self-explanatory. So just your Regular old jumping jack. So we're gonna get started with this round in about 30 seconds with the YTA. So grab your water, get ready, and we will get started. All right, so you have 10 seconds before we're starting with these YTAs. 3, 2, 1, and go. And rest. Good job. So you're going to flip over, and we're going to do either both or single leg glute bridges. Start in 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1, and go. And switch sides. And rest. Good job. All right, so next up we have Spider-Man plank or static plank, up to you. Remember to modify this to fit your body's needs. And we're going to start here in a few seconds. 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1, and go. And rest. Great job. So, last but not least, we have those jumping jacks. I would double check to make sure you're not going to hit your hands anything above your head. You have low ceilings. And we'll start in about 10 seconds. Ready, and go. Good job. So grab some water. We're going to rest for a second and then repeat that round. Oh, and I mentioned this last week, so while everyone's grabbing water. So if you have not already filled out the census, you should definitely fill out the census, especially if you live in Rhode Island, if you live anywhere, but especially Rhode Island because we are in danger of losing a delegate. So it's super important that everyone is counted in the census, so fill out your census if you haven't already. And I believe Mina can help you, Mina from Thunder Mist, if you have questions about the census. So fill out the census. We're going to start with the YTAs, so round one again in just a few seconds. So if you want to get ready, we'll be starting in less than 15 seconds. Ready and go. And rest. So go ahead and flip on over on your mat. We're going to do some glute bridges. So remember, if you're doing single leg, I will tell you when to switch. If you are doing both legs, you can just go straight through for the minute. And we'll start in a few seconds. 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1, and go. And switch sides. And rest. Good job. Okay, so next up we have Spider-Man plank or static plank. Remember, you can adjust this to meet your needs. And if you start off doing a harder version, you can always switch to something that works better for you as you fatigue. So we'll start in 10 seconds. 3, 2, 1, and go. And rest. So last but not least, we have those jumping jacks. Got a few more seconds. 2, 1, and go. Woo! All right. Grab some water, and we're going to talk about round 2. Or circuit 2, rather. All right. So, your circuit 2 today is push-ups, super people, reverse lunges, and dead bugs. So push-ups. You're going to want to modify these to fit your body's needs. So for some people that may mean doing a push-up against the wall. So let me make sure. Yep, you can see me. So push-up against the wall. You can just lean, press against the wall like this. So for some people that might be most comfortable. For other people, maybe using like an also elevated surface, but maybe a little lower, like a chair. So hands here, coming down, coming up. Or you can do kneeling or full extension push-ups on the ground. So for all of these variations, you want your hands to end under your shoulders, and you want your elbows to come out at about a 45-degree angle. So you don't want your elbows up here, and you don't want them super close to your body. You want them kind of in the middle. So if you are doing your push-ups on the ground, or really anyway, you also want to keep your core engaged. So think of how your core is engaged during a plank. So if you're doing a kneeling push-up, you're keeping that core engaged and pressing back up. If you're doing a full extension push-up, same thing. You're keeping that core engaged, pressing back up. So that's push-ups. Super people. So similar to the YTAs, you're going to be laying on the ground face down, and you're going to extend your arms overhead. This time you're going to lift. You're going to squeeze your entire posterior chain, so your glutes, hamstrings, low back to come up, bringing your legs and arms off the ground and back down. So you don't want to do that super fast. You want to kind of keep it slow and controlled. So you're coming up and then back down. Next up is reverse lunges. So for these, I'm actually going to offer a couple modifications for these as well. So reverse lunges, if you're standing in one spot, you are stepping back and then standing up, just like this. So I'll show you from the side. So I'm stepping back, standing up, just like that. You can also do step-ups onto something, so where you're stepping up like that, alternating legs, or you can even do squats if that's more comfortable for you. And then if you want a seated option for this movement, a seated option, you could do like seated marching where you're bringing your knees up, or high knees. Or you could do even like, actually you could even do where you're just standing and you're shifting your weight. So modify that to kind of figure out what works for you. I'm going to do lunges on camera. And then last but not least, we have dead bugs, which you are also going to be laying on your back for. So for these, you are laying on your back, arms and legs up. You're keeping your core engaged. You are extending opposite arm, opposite leg. Try to keep your back pressed to the ground. So you're keeping your core engaged so that there's no arch in your back, besides like the normal little bit of natural arch you have. So that is going to be circuit 2 today. So we're going to get started here in 20 seconds with push-ups. 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1, and go. Don't forget, you can switch to kneeling or modify at any time if you need to. And rest. Next up, we have super people. So you are laying on your stomach. Ten seconds. 3, 2, 1, and go. And rest. Good job. Okay. So next up we have those reverse lunges. So we're going to alternate legs no matter what you're doing, unless you're doing a movement with both legs like squats, in which case you can go just straight through. So we're going to start those in 15 seconds. So if you want to grab some water, you do have time. All right, ready? And go. Ten seconds. And rest. And hold on. Dead bugs. Oh my gosh, we almost forgot dead bugs. So last part of the circuit, dead bugs. You're laying on your back. Remember, you're starting your arms and legs up. 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1, and go. and rest. So grab some water. I don't know how you all are feeling today, but I just ate. I just made and ate a very large meal immediately before coaching this class, which, in retrospect, every time I do that, I regret it. However, I still did it, so far so good. All right, so we got another 30 seconds of reps. We're gonna repeat circuit 2 one more time, and then we'll finish with some core. So get ready to start with push-ups. 3, 2, 1, and go. And rest. Good job. Okay, so super people, so you can actually stay on the ground. And we are extending up, holding for 2 seconds, and coming back down. So ready, set, and go. And rest. All right, so 2 more parts to the circuit. So we have reverse lunges and dead bugs. So take a sec, catch your breath. 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1, and go. And rest. So last but not least, we have those dead bugs. We'll start in 10 seconds. 3, 2, 1, and go. So you have 3 more exercises and then we are done for today. There's a 75% chance that fan is going to fall out of the window at some point and make a loud noise. So, sorry in advance. Okay, so all we have left are penguins, leg raises, and crunches. So we'll start with those penguins. So you're going to lay on your back with your feet hip width apart, maybe a little further away from your butt than when you do glute bridges, maybe a little closer, depending. You're going to come up, engage your core, and then reach and tap the opposite heel. So we're going to do a set of 30 total penguins. Are we ready? And go. And rest. So next up, we have leg raises. So for leg raises, you're going to want to put your hands under your butt. Start with both your legs in the up position. You can either do one leg at a time, like this, keeping the other leg up, or you can do both, keeping that core engaged so your low back does not arch. So we'll do a set of 15 total. If you are alternating legs, just do 7 per side. Ready, and go. All right. Last but not least, we're going to do a set of 20 crunches of any variation you want. So this can be like knee-up crunches, toe touch crunches, just bent knee crunches, any crunch variation you want. So we're going to do 20 reps, and then you are done for the day. Ready, and go. And that is it for today. So, thank you all for coming to today's class. Next class is next Monday at 6 p.m. And again, I'm Alex Weaver. I coach at Alien Athletes. Thank you, Thunder Mist, for sponsoring this class. Thank you all for joining me today. And hope to see you next Monday, same time, same place. Bye.